Mic test. For this video, we will answer this problem. Methane gas is to be compressed from 100 psia and 80 degrees Fahrenheit to 500 psia. The compressor is to operate adiabatically and is expected to have an efficiency of 80% compared with isentropic compression. After compression, the methane is to be cooled at a constant pressure of 500 psia to a temperature of 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Data for methane is given below. Make a thermodynamic analysis of the process when T0 is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. At 100 psia and 80 degrees Fahrenheit, these are the properties of methane. Yan. And at 500 psia, use this table. Okay? First is, let's draw the problem. Meron tayong compressor. Okay? Ba't papataas? Pababa naman. So, meron tayong compressor. And a compressor is a work-requiring device. P1 is 100 psia. T1 is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Adiabatic raw siya. P2 is 500 psia. And it will enter a cooler yung after leaving the compressor. P3 is 500 psia. T3 is 100 psia. Ay, hindi. 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So, that's the given. And compressor efficiency is 80%. T0 is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Required is a thermodynamic process. Now, just like yung problem before, the best practice is to make a table ng H and S properties niya at the different points ng methane. Okay, so for this point, 100 psia and 80 degrees Fahrenheit, we can read sa given siya, no, ito yung properties, 407, at saka, yan. So, copyhin lang natin. And then, the next is 500 psia, and, ano siya, 500 psia, you have to, hindi natin alam kung ano yung temperature niya at this intermediate point na P2. Pero, let's assume delta S is 0 so that yung S2 prime mo ay 1.450. Therefore, by interpolation, makakuha ka ng H2 prime using yung table. Okay? Then, point 3, the next point, 100 psia. So, gamitin mo lang yung table. Okay? Next na is, so this is a work requiring process. The work requiring process. And for a work requiring process, ano ba yung nasa baba? yung work shaft. Okay, yung work shaft. Yung work requiring process, yung work ideal natin, the same, we calculate it from the start to the end. Okay, we calculate it from the start to the end. So, same is yung work ideal equal yan sa delta H minus T naught delta S, and this is H3 minus H1. Okay, so from start to end, substitute the values. Kayo na mag-substitute. What you will get is this value. Okay? So, next is yung work lost. Na ang general equation ay T naught delta S minus Q. First, let's solve for the work loss in the compressor. So, work loss sa compressor, T naught S2 minus S1 kasi yung compressor ay yung from point 1 to point 2. Adiabatic, Q is 0. Now, we don't know the yung H2, okay? But we just know kasi wala tayong S2. Meron tayong S2 prime. Meron tayong S1. So, to know S2, we use the efficiency of the compressor. So, masasolve natin from the efficiency yung H2 actual. Okay. So, yung H2 actual, just substitute everything. Masasolve, kasi unknown na to lahat. Known yung H1 and H2 prime. In-interpolate natin. Masasolve mo yung H2 actual as 569.375. And then, by interpolation, and P2 na 500, use the table, this table, P2 na 500, interpolate mo yung enthalpy na 569. So, ito pala yun. Malapit dyan. So, banda rito, gitna niyan, pero malapit na sa 1.49. So, in fact, yung S2 mo actual is 1.49 BTU per pound Rankine. So, now we can calculate yung work loss ng compressor. Just substitute the values, T naught, at saka yung S2 minus S1, you will get 21.6. Next is the work loss sa cooler. Yan. So, sa cooler, yung Q natin equal sa delta H. So, idiretso ko na H3 minus H2. Substitute everything kasi lahat naman yan known na. Work loss sa cooler ay 35.6 BTU per pound. Okay? Finally, yung work shaft, H2 minus H1 lang yan. Yung sa compressor, it's 106, substitute lang. Yan, BTU per pound. So, now we make a table for a work requiring process. Diba, nasa taas yung work ideal. And then, summation ng work loss, we have for compressor. And we have for cooler. Then, nasa baba yung workshop. And this is the total. So, una sa work ideal, ito siya, sa compressor, sa cooler, yan. Then, pag sinam mo, dapat ito yung total, yung nakuha nating workshop, which is true. Yan talaga yung sum nung tatlo. So, in terms of percentage, 13.3, 21.9 for a total of 100.